Welcome back to The Takeout. A self-described progressive in North Carolina will be on the ballot today with an R, not a D, next to her name. Why? Because Kate Barr is using her bid for the 14th Congressional District to protest gerrymandering. I spoke with her back in 2024 when she ran as a Democrat in a state legislative race. And then, just a few weeks ago, about her most recent campaign, one she knows she's probably not going to win.
When we first met Kate Barr in 2024, she was a Democrat.
Do y'all have a plan to vote?
Running an energetic but hopeless campaign for the North Carolina legislature.
I'm running for state senate and I can't win.
Why?
We live in a gerrymandered district. I actually live in a gerrymandered state.
Sure enough, Barr lost by 29 points.
Some people call me a rhino.
Now she's trying something different, switching parties and running in the Republican primary for Congress, specifically North Carolina's 14th district.
The last time I met you, you were a Democrat.
Yeah.
What happened?
I'm still progressive. I just have an R next to my name.
The tactics have changed, but her message is the same. Partisan gerrymandering kills political competition and heightens polarization.
The primary is where the actual competition happens. So Kate Barr couldn't win as a Democrat, but Kate Barr can win as a Republican in the Republican primary. Both ideas equally ridiculous.
Barr opposes ICE immigration raids and the Trump tax and trade agenda. If elected, she would almost certainly caucus with House Democrats. Hers, you see, is a more subversive challenge to redistricting mania.
You can look at almost any election that has happened in North Carolina on the statewide level and know that we are a purple state. We should be sending a purple delegation to Washington.
After the 2020 census, the congressional delegation was split 7-7. Then Republicans redrew the map, turning it into a 10-4 advantage. Another redraw last year is expected to add one more GOP seat. Interestingly, North Carolina has elected Democratic governors since 2016, and every presidential vote since 2008 has been decided by fewer than 4 points.
Do you think she's a Republican?
No, she's no Republican at all.
Barr's opponent, freshman Congressman Tim Moore, told us Republican primary voters see through Barr's campaign. Moore said he's never met Barr, has no real interest in doing so, and won't debate her.
Someone who is that far left, who is trying to come into a Republican primary to deceive or fool Republican voters, I mean that's fraud at that point. She's at least being honest about being a fraud, if you will.
I am being dead honest. People that vote for me know exactly what they're getting.
The director for Princeton's Gerrymandering Project, Samuel Wang, joins me now. We should point out he is also running for Congress in New Jersey's 12th congressional district, which he had more than a small role in creating. So, Sam, I want to play something for you because I want my audience to understand. Kate Barr just said North Carolina is a purple state. You might say, well, I'm going to discount her because she's a Democrat that's pretending to be a Republican. But today, my colleague, Torian Small, talked to Michael Whatley, who's the Republican nominee for the Senate in North Carolina. And this is what he said. Michael Whatley, listen.
Well, you know, North Carolina, we're a purple state, right? And we are a state that is 30% Republican, 30% Democrat, 40% unaffiliated. And what that really means is you've got to get out there and you've got to talk and you've got to communicate with every single voter.
So Michael Whatley, Republican running for the United States Senate, agrees with Kate Barr. North Carolina is a purple state. So talk to me about redistricting there, Samuel.
Well, redistricting in New Jersey, you mean?
North Carolina.
In North Carolina has been ground zero for partisan redistricting. I mean, Democrats several decades ago drew a map that was to their advantage. In the meantime, it's gone back and forth, and it's depended very much on who controls the state Supreme Court. Now that the state Supreme Court is goes to the right, now at that point they're aligned with the legislature. And so there's a map that is the most extreme gerrymander that North Carolina has seen possibly ever.
And what is the practical outcome of that effect of gerrymandering that is that pronounced?
The practical outcome is that when one political party controls redistricting, then it locks in outcomes. There's no competition in either direction. And as a result, voters' wishes don't matter. As a result, we have a map that could be something like 11-3 Republicans to Democrats. And voters are effectively frozen out. Politicians have chosen their voters.
And both parties do this.
Both parties do this. Republicans have been doing it a lot in the last half year. And these days, Democrats have been firing back in places like California.
And for the audience's benefit, it's been unusual this year to see so many states do what we refer to as mid-session or mid-season redistricting, meaning halfway through the census 10-year period, they're jumping back into this map redrawing.
That's right. In the last 50 years, there have been only 3 instances of mid-decade redistricting. And just in the last 6 months alone, we've had 6 more instances. And so this is really unprecedented in the history of modern voting rights. It's really quite incredible and unseemly.
And talk to my audience about your particular granular experience with this in New Jersey.
Well, I was the neutral expert in redistricting, and so I was in some sense the referee working on working for the tiebreaker, who was the chair of the commission. And we were behind closed doors, and Democrats presented their plan, Republicans presented their plan. And I was sitting there basically applying neutral standards to try to figure out which plan was better or less bad, depending on how you look at it.
And you came up with something that was then challenged. Some allegations were hurled at you. There was an investigation, and you were cleared, as I recall.
That is true. I was cleared of those. I think what didn't really come out in the public coverage of it was that the people who drew the lines were the Democrats and the Republicans. And behind closed doors, my job was to give neutral scores and to do my very best job to be a referee. And it was the judge's call, the tiebreaker, and he chose one plan. So it came out in public in a very strange way. I think it just goes to show that redistricting really is a blood sport.
Samuel Wang, I'm going to give you the last word. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much.